In this clip, we will define the daily resource capacity for our cutting machine resource. We have already defined and added a new cutting machine resource to the system. To set up the daily resource capacity for this resource, from our Resource Master record, we can easily navigate to the Resource Capacity window. We simply right-click and select Internal Resource Capacity. This automatically provides the selection criteria for this resource. But note the capacity type is defined as internal by default. The second option is by navigating to the resource module and selecting resource capacity. From here, you need to select the relevant criteria such as the resource number, warehouse code, etc. So in this case, we're going to select the resource number. Also note that the capacity type selected is defined as all when accessing the resource capacity window from the resources module. Now we're going to choose Set Daily Internal Capacities. By selecting the first option, Data from Planning Data tab of Resource Master Data, and clicking Update, we can see that the daily capacity has been updated. We can expand this information to allow users to manually adjust the internal capacity after a batch update. And this may be necessary if there are specific days where a special event in the company only allows for one shift instead of two. If we navigate back to the Resources Set Daily Internal Capacities window, and we select, for example, the option Manual Data as entered below for each weekday, this is a similar definition to the first option that was performed for the batch update, except the capacities have been set manually, and this would only realistically be done on a resource-by-resource basis and not on a batch run. If you select, for example, Update Single Run Capacity with Internal Capacity, the internal capacity definitions is used to overwrite the single run capacity definitions. We want to set the single run capacity for the cutting machine. We require a template for our cutting machine, and these templates are expensive, even though we have 3 cutting machines. We usually create only a single template for every customer job. Therefore, we have a limitation that only one machine can use this single template. Therefore, our single run capacity is restricted to 2 shifts of 8 hours each day for a single machine. So now that we've selected our resource number, let's go back to setting our internal daily capacities, and we're going to select Update Internal Capacity with Single Run Capacity. By selecting the fourth option, the capacity in the resource capacity screen changes from 48 hours to 16 hours. We now have set our daily internal capacity for our cutting machine resource.